Alright, so, yeah. I just have this hoodie on and it has the name of where I work, and, you know, you can never be too careful these days. There's also... Never mind, I'm not gonna be paranoid. Here are the books that I'm reading or going to read in the near future. This one, I think, will be either the very next one. I think this could be like my morning coffee book. Woolgathering, Patti Smith. I believe it's a memoir of a sorts. It's like a poetic memoir, probably. In the small, luminous memoir, the National Book Award winner, Patti... I almost said Natty Smith. Natty Smith. Patti Smith revisits the most sacred experiences of her early years with truths so vivid they border on the surreal. The author intertwines her childhood self and its clear, unspeakable joy, in quotes, with memories both real and envisioned from her 20s on New York's McDougal Street, the street of cafes. Okay, hell fucking yeah. I love that. I love Patti Smith. I love her ethereal nature. It's the same thing I say every time. She's just an angel, so anyways. I just finished that one, so I'll talk about that one in a second. Chronology of Water. I was doing the thing where I was like, I want to reread it before the movie. I'm gonna be so lame and leave the freaking thing over it because, once again, art is no place, the internet is no place for art these days, apparently. Because the cover of this book is a nipple, and it's beautiful. It's Lydia's nipple. It's a perfect nipple. Anyways, I'll stop talking about that. Least interesting part of this incredible memoir. I love memoirs, if that wasn't clear. It's like, why wouldn't you want to read the story of someone's life in a narrative, like a narrativized version of that? A word which I get from this incredible sentence in here. I just read it. I remember being struck by it. The first sentence knocked the wind out of me, and then I remember this one put so much just into sense. It's essentially the thesis of the concept of chronology of water as the title and as a way of viewing one's life. Sorry, my voice. All the events of my life swim in and out between each other without chronology, like in dreams. So if I'm thinking of a memory of a relationship, or one about riding a bike, or about my love for literature and art, or when I first touched my lips to alcohol, or how much I adored my sister, or the day my father first touched me, there is no linear sense. Language is a metaphor for experience. It's as arbitrary as the mass of chaotic images we call memory, but we can put it into lines to narrativize over fear. What a fucking mind. Insane. So yeah, all of that is to say, I'm gonna go see the movie tomorrow. I was like, why do I feel the need to read the book beginning to end? You've read it before, you were struck by it before. I'm absolutely going to read it beginning to end very shortly, but I was acting like I had to do that before I went to see the movie. You're not in school, babes. There's gonna be no tests, nobody's to say. So I just want to read a little bit. I just want to dip into the feeling of it, basically. So I'm just reading until I go see it tomorrow, 1:45 p.m. I'm gonna walk over there. I've got therapy at 11. Dropping my car off because I got my tires stabbed. Happens. So I need a new tire. Gonna do that at noon. 1:45. Chronology of Water. I have a theater within walking distance. I'm so freaking grateful and lucky for the life I live. I can't get over it. And I never want to. Next book. This one, Hold Still, Sally Mann. I just finished, I think it was last month, I read her new one. I think it's just called Artwork. There's a subtitle, probably. It's called, or is it called, yeah, I think it's called Artwork. And in another video I was talking about it, I think I said At Work. Nothing matters. Anyways, this is her first one, a memoir with photographs, Hold Still, Sally Mann. Chunker, as you can see. It was on hold at the library, and I'm pretty sure it renewed once already. I have to look into it, but I've been having that trouble where I check out too many books and feel like I'm hoarding them, but at the same time, it's like I'm supporting my library, right? I can have up to 125 out, I learned, and I usually am rocking about 10 or less, I'd say. I don't know. This is also one that I started and has been renewed a few times, but I think I'm good still. It's Truth is the Arrow, Mercy is the Bow, a DIY manual for the construction of stories by Almond. I've had this one on a craft book list that I wanted to read for a while now, but I just hadn't gotten around to it. And then he was on a podcast, I believe I listened to. Could not tell you which one it was. It was one of those days where I just searched in my podcast app, like writers, writing, interviews, something like that. I really like him. I think he's goofy, and I think that he's like chill and down to earth, and like he gets it. So I'm enjoying it. I'm only on page 5, but I've been enjoying it, and like I liked what he had to say in the interview. All right, this is the one I just finished. We by Yevgeny, I think Zamyatin. How would you say that? It's Russian. I don't know. I think it was a Russian novelist. This one was a wild roller coaster. Not wild, but this one was a roller coaster for me. I'll say that. In like an interesting way. It started out with, sorry, I just got distracted because I was like, yeah, I love Patti Smith. Look at this freak. Look at me being a freak of all freaks. No, I'm just kidding, but it's like, okay, girl, we get it. Anyways, the thing that pulled me in was this said the chilling dystopian novel that influenced George Orwell while he was writing 1984. And then there's an intro by Margaret Atwood and an essay by Ursula K. Le Guin, like 2 heavy hitters of the speculative and science fiction genres. It is very similar to Brave. It was written in 1921, 23. I don't know. I can find out. It doesn't matter. Let's not get into it all the time. It was written over 100 years ago is the point. And it is so similar to, obviously, 1984. Also Aldous Huxley's Brave New World. Also Fahrenheit 451. These ideas of the societies that are all homogenized so that there's never any resistance or uprisings or anything that goes against the status quo. And the entire premise of this one is that the one state is meant to be like the only thing you care about, the only thing you work towards. You are, literally just a digit. The narrator's name is D355, 305, 3. The narrator's name is D503. I ain't gonna lie, my brain has not been holding on to fiction very well, so I didn't like closely read this. And there was definitely times, there's like 2 or 3, I, O, and U, I believe are their name, the first letters of their names. Interesting, that our boy D has relations with, we'll say, interacts with, whatever. And I wasn't really keeping them straight sometimes. I knew like generally who was who, and I know, the big players in the game, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. Heavy racism happening, as I think the intro, I think Margaret Atwood addresses it in the intro, but my God, get over it, you guys. It's so embarrassing. I don't ever want to say that like you just can breeze past it, because it's bullshit to do that. So yeah, I just think that it's important to acknowledge it. It's one of the poets in the thing too, which it's one of those very like, it's so embarrassing when you read someone that's like a bigot, because it's like they're so almost close to the point, but they don't let themselves see it, and they like hate themselves too much to admit it fully, basically. So I almost want to pick this pencil up. Did you? I literally was like, let me move that because I'm crazy. Anyways, the way that he writes about, what is his? It's like R something. I know that R is the name, the letter. And he refers to him as like a poet and an idealist and like an artist, and you can tell he's a creative type. And so it's like, as the reader, I'm like immediately drawn to him, and I'm like, oh, this guy's like a revolutionary. He's going to be one of the best characters, blah, blah, blah. And all that Yevgeny, as the author, keeps writing about him is his like big African lips and like his mouth, and like he just keeps commenting on his features, and then of course he throws in some like African stupidity bullshit or something, and it really makes no sense to me because it never lands. Like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, I guess, but like, it's just embarrassing for him, Yevgeny. If you're hearing this from whatever you've dissolved into, it's embarrassing, dude. Okay, anyways, bit of a tangent. What it is another one I'm reading, Lynda Barry. Lynda Barry! I knew about Lynda Barry a few years ago. I discovered her, or I found her, I don't know. I discovered her. No, I've danced around her, though, because I know she's going to be very helpful in my creative journey. And I was not ready to advance in my creative journey until now. But now I'm ready, and I need Lynda, and I got Lynda. So I got what it is. I ordered it from my local bookstore, and then I also just ordered Syllabus, which is comparable, I've heard, to The Artist's Way, but a more creative, intuitive, less rigid, structured academic approach. I think I want to do both because you know me and my academics. Oh, I love that structure, discipline. Ooh, ow, ew. Hated that. Video's over 10 minutes. I gotta go. Also, the sound of this is gonna be so bad. I have The Artist's Way, and I have Syllabus on the way. So all of that is to say that I will be doing both of them and documenting it. And it'll be a fun time. Because why not? Why not? Why not? Take a crazy chance. Why not? Why not? Do a crazy dance. Okay. On that note, bye y'all. Thanks for being here.